guys, welcome to part 4 of the lion tutorial. So yesterday we did a lot of work with the pan pastels and we did all the underlayering, and then we did double texturing. The first type of texturing was with etching straight into the paper. The second type of texturing was by using the Tombow eraser to sort of erase little textures out of the pan pastels. And then today we are going to get straight into using the colored pencils for doing detailed works, and sort of it's going to add to the texture, so it's going to make it look even more textured and more soft, and it's just going to add more and more to it. And that's it. So today is mainly just going to be about detailing. I'm going to start off with the eye area, and I'm going to zoom in nice and close because I know when I'm using pencils you guys want to see as much as possible. So we'll work on the eye area first, and I'll make very sure that the camera is in the right position at all times, and then we'll sort of move along as we go to all the other areas. And yes, so we are again just I'm gonna record for an hour so that you guys can do this with me. I'm not time-lapsing anything. You guys are literally getting all the raw details of every step recorded. If I make a mistake, it's going to be recorded, and the way I fix the mistake is going to be recorded, and I think that is the best possible way to do it, because then you guys get to see every single step of the way and know exactly what sort of problems you might face in the future, and sort of how to take it step by step when those problems arise. Okay, so let's jump into it. Okay, so first things first, I want to work on the detailing in the eyes. So we pretty much just have a rough shadow down, and we have a good indication of where everything is placed, and now we're going to add the detailing with the pencil. So I'm going to come in with a dark pencil. I'd say probably my black, because I know the black isn't as dark as the Sharpie, so that's going to work to our advantage. So this is the Polychromos Black number 199. So there's areas at the bottom of the eye here that I just want to texture a little bit more. So so that it's not just such a straight line like you see over here. So you want to just soften that up a little. And then some of them actually go, whoopsie. Okay, so just sort of use little flicking motions as well for some of these hairs that sort of go over the edge. Okay, now I'm going to use sort of little circular scribble motions here to create a sort of textured look in the tear duct area. Now remember, if you have any doubts about which colors to use, create yourself swatches. Take the time and make swatches so that you guys can get a better understanding of what colors are. So here are my swatches for my Polychromos pencils. So if I wanted to figure out sort of what colors I need, then I would compare it to my reference photo, and then I'd look for the suitable colors, and then I would put it onto my drawing. But I'm not fussed about getting the colors accurate, so I'm not doing that. But if you want to do that, or you just have no idea what colors to pick, then create yourself swatches and use them, because the more you use them, actually the more you'll get familiar with the colors, and the more confident you'll get with picking colors out for yourself without having to use the swatches. Oh, I am using the Van Dyke Brown number 176 to just enhance some of the brown areas over here as well. Also use it on sort of on the top of the eyelid because you can see there's darker streaks over there. I'm going to create some darker shadows over here too. So if we had to color now, so even though if I had to just color in a circular motion, it's going to create that texture from the etching on the paper. So that etching is still going to stay whatever color it is now, but when you put the pencil over it, it's not going to go into those indentations. So it's still going to give you that extra texture. Okay, now I'm going to use a very nice sharp pencil and I'm going to do a flicking motion. Just soft like that, and again like that. Try and extend it up a little further like that. And we got nice little dark pieces of hair that are coming out like that. Be careful not to overdo them and make them too thick, because then they just look a bit fake. Okay. Now I'm going to use also like small little up and down motions. To add in the texture next to the eye here. So you can see it sort of extending up to there, looking at your reference photo. Yeah, you can use little circular motions. Because of the texture in your paper, you don't have to worry too much about the texture not coming out. really wish I didn't put the marker on here. It's going to take a long time before it's completely covered and blends in properly. Plus I have to make it darker than what it actually is because of my mistake. With a very gentle hand, I'm going to shade in this area lightly with the same color. I'm going to do the same over here. And make these areas dark over here. So just doing a light layer all around. So just increasing that value more and more and more as we go. My face is looking so soft and so cute. Okay, next color. I want to use my burnt sienna. So this color is burnt sienna number 283. And I want to use this color because it's got a like pinkish reddish tinge. So right now everything to me is just still too orange. So I want to add more of this color very lightly. Sort of a foundation color. And then you're just going to add that. So now I'd be so tempted round about these stages to use my solvent because it's going to bring that pigment out so much. I'm going to try and hold myself back. Actually, I'm going to experiment quickly and see what it looks like when I use the colorless blender with a soft little sponge like this. I want to see if it actually enhances the pigment or not. I'm not sure what it will do. No, it doesn't. It just makes it look smooth. Which is not really what we need with a lion. It certainly does not need to look smooth. Okay, no. But it will probably be useful if you still feel like you want more of underlayer tones, or if you've overdid something, then you can at least soften it up this way. I'm going to use my burnt ochre number 187 and just see if that also that gives a nice color. I really want the pigment to come out way more. I'm very tempted to try the solvent and see what it would do. Okay, I want to give a light layer pretty much everywhere of this color. I like it as an addition to the undertones. That looks better. See, the whole face actually needs to be so much darker. Because we're not using solvent, the pigment is not gonna pop out more than what we're putting onto the paper, so we can sort of just take a chance and go pretty dark on a lot of these areas. So now I'm using again my burnt sienna number 283, and I'm gonna start using little strokes like this and sort of adding them dispersed fairly evenly, because some areas will have like darker little bits and some areas will have lighter little bits, so you sort of want to spread it along everywhere. See, and that also forms like an illusion of texture. Using little strokes like this with your pencil is going to make it seem like it's textured. this is really everything that I'm doing now around the eye. This is the process of layering with colored pencils. You're just going to keep adding colors and adding colors and adding colors until eventually you get to where you want to be and you can stop. Using circular motions, I'm going to add this color pretty much where I added the burnt sienna color as well. Okay, now I want to come in even darker, so I am going to use my black. Polychromos Black number 199. And I want to add some of those dark shadows in some of these areas. Small little back and forth motions. Little circular motions, back and forth motions. Okay. I am going to experiment again. So I'm going to try and use the Touch Up White texture. Also from Brush and Pencil. It was called Color Pencil Titanium White. That's what it looks like. I haven't even opened it yet. So I'm not sure if it's a powder or a liquid. It's a powder. I'm gonna play around with it with one of these little like makeup things. So I want to lighten up the area here by the eye. I'm just curious to see. Ooh. Certainly lightening it up. That is so cool. Check it out. It's one way to lighten an area that's too dark, that's for sure. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so if we need to lighten up any areas, we're certainly going to use the colored pencil Titanium White from brushandpencil.com. Archival, non-toxic. Amazing stuff. That's pretty cool. And then we can add a tinge. Let's see how it goes with pencil on the top. So I'm going to use my Light Flesh number 132 and just see how it goes with color. That's really good. So at least it takes that stark white away and gives it more of a warm color. Gorgeous. Okie doke. I'm going to use my black Sharpie and darken up some of these areas. It's my washing machine screaming at me. Radio. So, where were we? Let's use our warm grey. What is that? 5? Is VI Roman numeral 5, I think. Number 275. And add more texturing with the pencil. I need to go turn it off, otherwise it's going to keep screaming at me. Okay. I think I want to come in with terracotta. Where are you? Here we go. So terracotta, my number 186, and I'm going to put this color everywhere. And then I am going to take a chance, take a very, very big chance, and see what happens when I put the solvent over, because I really, really want that pigment to come out more. Because I feel like I'm just layering and layering and the colors aren't getting as bright as I want them to be. So I'm going to layer like this, and hopefully the solvent doesn't affect the pan pastels or make it just become a mushy mess. So I'm going to hope for the best. Because this terracotta, oh, once the color's gone with the solvent, the pigment just really, really pops out beautifully. Okay, so I have got this brush dipped in a tiny bit of solvent. I've dabbed most of it off. It's a number 4 acrylic brush, and I'm just going to dab it gently, and then if I feel like I need to add more, I will, but I don't want to do too much quite yet. Okay, so far so good. Okay, yes. Yay, I'm so happy. Right, let's do some more. I got very little on my brush because I don't want it to go in the texture. Look how that texture is starting to come out. So I'm literally sort of, there's so little solvent on the brush that it's sort of just doing the very top layer of color. Yay, this is amazing. It doesn't seem to be affecting the pan pastel in any negative way, so it's not like it's becoming muddy or anything like that. So that's very, very great news. Okay, I am now going to go against everything that I have been saying since the beginning, and I am going to use my Prismacolors because I want to add some lighter colors and texturing over the top of this, and I cannot do that with my Polychromos pencils because they are oil-based pencils. The only pencils that are going to show up lighter on top of a darker color is going to be Prismacolor wax-based pencils, or any wax-based pencils for that matter. So yes, I am going to get them out. So now I am using my Prismacolor Peach Beige PC1085. Yes, I'm using Prismacolor. And I want to show you something. So I'm going to create some lighter textures up here. So I am able to do that because I'm using wax. Wax has a way of sitting on top of different surfaces really easily and sort of staying there, whereas oil can't. Actually, a good way to describe it, if you're burning a wax candle, you can just keep burning wax on top of wax on top of wax. Whereas if you have to layer oil, you can't put oil and then wax and then oil and then, I don't know if you get what I mean, but it's just gonna be flat. It's not gonna create that thick waxiness. So look at that beautiful texturing. So just getting to do the white highlights like this over the top with wax just works well. Oh well. I think I lasted surprisingly well without my Prismas, considering. We got through 3 tutorials without using Prismacolors. Okay, so we've pretty much reached the hour mark for the next tutorial for this one. So I'm gonna leave it at that. And then we will be carrying on with detailing in the next one. So detailing is not the quickest process. Underlayering, things like that are pretty quick. But detailing is going to take the longest. And we've only really done the eye area. We still need to do all this mouth area and on the edges as well. Okay. Congratulations guys on getting to part 4 of the lion tutorial. So today we learned a couple of new things once again. So a couple of experiments that we did, we've experimented with the brush and paint titanium white to get the whiter areas next to the eyes, and that worked amazingly. So that's definitely one way to go about getting your drawing lighter if it's too dark, by using the titanium white, and it seems to be okay with you putting pencil over the top of that as well. If you find that the layers are going to be too much, then you can use a fixative spray. I will have to go and look what exactly it is, or what type of fixative it is, but it's a fixative spray that allows you to draw again on top of that. So that's another option. Or you can use the touch-up texture, which is also from Brush and Pencil, and that applies it's like a nail polish bottle that applies the texture back onto the paper. And then you can put more color on top of that once it dries. The other thing that we did is that we ended up using the Prismacolor pencil, because we got so many nice layers of color, but I needed to get some of those white highlighted strokes of fur on the top of those darker layers, and you're not going to get that right. You cannot put light oil color pencils on top of dark oil color pencils, but you can put light wax-based pencils on top of dark oil-based colors, and then that'll bring it out more highlighted. So yes, my Prismacolors are back out, and we will be using the Prismacolors in this tutorial as well. I know it's a lot of supplies, but you don't have to use all of that. You can do all of this with just your oil and your wax-based pencils. You do not need the pan pastels. You can still do underlayering with your pencils and blend it up with your solvent. Oh, and that's what we used as well. I was going to try to not use solvent or Prismacolor pencils throughout this entire thing, but I know how it works so well, and I had to experiment with it, so I wanted to see how the solvent was going to work, because I wanted more pigment to come out of the color. I didn't just want the color as is, because the minute you put solvent down, the pigment of the color just comes out so much better. So that is what we ended up doing. So we added the solvent, it worked well, it didn't affect the pan pastel, which is really good. So we are able to use the solvent in the future for the next tutorials and layer better on top of that, and then we are also able to use our wax-based pencils to put lighter colors on top of darker colors. So this is it for part 4 of the lion tutorial, and I will see you guys in the next tutorial. Bye!